On Monday, April 7th, two of the United States' regional airlines announced their intent to merge into one carrier. Specifically, Republic Airways will be acquiring Mesa Air Group, the parent company of Mesa Airlines. Let's explore the economic reasons and historical background which have led to this most recent merger of US airlines and what will come as a result. If you've flown on a smaller jet within the United States, usually one with a 2-2 seating configuration, you've probably flown on a flight operated by a regional airline before. The modern regional airline concept, as it exists within the United States, is the result of the Airline Deregulation Act of 1978 and a part of the contract between the major airlines and their pilots' unions called a scope clause. Basically, the major airlines contract out the operation of flights between their hubs and smaller towns to an affiliated regional airline, such as Republic or Mesa. In addition, the regional airlines are also used to increase the frequency of service on their mainline routes when demand does not warrant the use of a larger aircraft. This also enables them to offer more flights per day between those city pairs across many departure times. Something important to keep in mind, though, is that as the speed, comfort, and range of the jets these regional airlines operate has increased, so has the number of flights operated by them, which could hardly be called regional. For example, Delta and American both contract out flights between New York and St. Louis to their regional partners. That's an 887-mile or 1,427 kilometer flight. Even more absurd is Aeromexico Connect's Querétaro to Detroit flight. This route clocks in at 1,549 miles or 2,868 kilometers. If you drew a circle centered in Budapest, Hungary, with that radius, it would cover the entirety of Europe, other than small slivers of Portugal, Finland, and Norway, along with sizable portions of Algeria, Libya, Egypt, and other Mediterranean countries, and reaching into Kazakhstan. In other words, regional as a name doesn't really do these airlines justice. This is a side note, but please feel free to leave me feedback in the comments section. I'd love to know how I can improve my future content. If you think I've earned it, subscribing and giving this video a like would also be appreciated, as it will help me share my passion for aviation with as many people as possible. Now, back to the video. As a basic overview of the major airlines within the United States, there are currently 4 airlines which contract out flights to regional airlines: One World carriers American Airlines and Alaska Airlines, SkyTeam carrier Delta Airlines, and Star Alliance carrier United Airlines. Each has their regional partners flying under a brand name which identifies them as an affiliate of the larger airline. Now, let's get back to Republic Airways and Mesa Airlines. Republic operates 240 Embraer E170 and E175 aircraft and carried about 17.5 million passengers in 2024. The parent company of Republic Airways can trace its roots to 1973 and another regional carrier, but the airline known as Republic Airways itself didn't start operations until 2004 in response to a lawsuit against American Airlines from its pilots union. This stemmed from a violation of the scope clause caused by Republic starting operations for another major airline. Since then, Republic has acquired 3 other airlines. The first, Shuttle America, was acquired in order to resolve another scope clause issue, this time in 2005. Next, in 2009, they acquired Midwest Airlines. Midwest was a very successful airline with a loyal customer base and was known for their signature chocolate chip cookies baked fresh in flight. Midwest itself even contracted out flights to a regional airline at one point. Unfortunately, the effects of the September 11th terrorist attacks, the 2003 oil crisis, and 2008 financial crisis caused serious financial problems for Midwest, much like the rest of the commercial airlines in the United States. They continued to limp along until 2009, with an attempted acquisition by AirTran Airways and a successful acquisition by a private equity firm and Northwest Airlines before finally being acquired by Republic in June of 2009 for $31 million. The last and most recent acquisition by Republic Airways, before their current plans to merge with Mesa, was Frontier Airlines, also in 2009. Yes, that Frontier Airlines. The operations of Midwest were eventually folded into Frontier, as both were still operated as entirely separate subsidiaries of Republic Airways Holdings. They then announced their intent to spin off Frontier as its own company in late 2011, with the sale being completed in December 2013. Mesa Air Group was founded in 1982. They currently operate a fleet of 66 Embraer E-175 aircraft and solely operate flights for United under the United Express name. Between 1989 and 1995, they either established or acquired the following airlines: Skyway Airlines, Aspen Airways, Air Midwest, Florida Gulf Airlines, West Air Commuter Airlines, Superior Airlines, CalPac or California Pacific, Crown Airways, Liberty Express Airlines, and Desert Sun Airlines. Over the years, all of these independent operations were consolidated until Mesa Air Group was left with a single subsidiary, Mesa Airlines, following their exit from bankruptcy in 2010. Republic filed for bankruptcy in 2016 due to plunging profits, a pilot shortage, and a loss of revenue during the past several quarters. The two airlines combined will be able to compete more effectively against regional airline SkyWest, who operates flights on behalf of all four previously mentioned US airlines who have regional operations. SkyWest has 580 aircraft as of March 2025, far above the 66 aircraft operated by Mesa and 240 aircraft operated by Republic. Considering the exceptionally long line of mergers and acquisitions which have taken place in the United States since the Airline Deregulation Act, September 11th, the 2008 financial crisis, and the COVID-19 pandemic, it is no surprise that these two carriers are seeking to band together. SkyWest, the main regional carrier they seek to compete with, is also the product of a long line of acquisitions itself. Once the transaction is complete, shareholders of the existing Republic Airways will hold 88% of the combined company's stock, with Mesa's shareholders holding between 6 and 12%, depending on criteria met during the acquisition. While the boards of both firms have approved the deal, their respective shareholders still need to approve it. In what is likely a positive indication of shareholder sentiment, shares of Mesa Air Group have already surged over 67% since the announcement. The combined company, retaining the name Republic Airways, will possess approximately 310 Embraer E-170 and E-175 aircraft. This new powerhouse will have more than 1,250 daily departures, serving on behalf of American, Delta, and United. That's more than Alaska Airlines, WestJet, Frontier, Spirit, or JetBlue, measured in both fleet size and number of daily departures. They will also become the second largest regional airline in the United States, behind SkyWest. This is still a developing story, but I hope it gave you enough information to have a good grasp on why it is occurring. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed doing research for, scripting, and editing it. Learning about aviation is my passion, and I hope I was able to share a bit of it with you today. Please let me know if you learned anything new, if you think I made any mistakes, or what you think I can do better going forwards. And if I've earned it, liking and subscribing would help immensely. That's all, and I hope to see you next time.